I'm Enrique Correa, and welcome to Kitchen 216, where we'll be whipping up something fresh and tasty for the TV20 community to watch and cook at home. First, we're going to start off with tostones, which are fried plantains. Then we're going to have arroz con gandules, which is rice with pigeon peas. We're going to have, as a chicken dish, we're going to have chicken adobo. And then we're going to have, for dessert, a traditional Spanish flan.
You're looking for a great drink to serve for the holidays or even festive gift. You are in luck because Enrique is going to teach us today how to make Spanish or Puerto Rican eggnog.
Yes,
That is the official term because I had never heard of this coquito until I met a Puerto Rican.
It's true. It's a lot of Puerto Ricans actually make it during the holidays. Yesterday, I was at a company called Togus in Avon Lake, and I ran into a man named Jose Lopez. And we started discussing coquito. And we started discussing recipes. And the thing about it is everybody has their own different recipe. You go on the internet and you look up coquito, everybody's got their own style of making.
And by the way, coquito is the name for the Puerto Rican egg.
Right. Okay. You call it coquito. Coquito. And it's just basically, it's Puerto Rican eggnog. We add a little flair to it, a little coconut, a little condensed milk, some vanilla. We cook it up real nice.
Enrique Correa is live in the newsroom with the details. Enrique?
Cindy, Tupac Shakur, Notorious B.I.G., and Jam Master Jay, all unsolved murders. Today, heavily armed police in California went searching for evidence that could lead to the killers.
CBS 2's Enrique Correa joins us now live from St. Albans. He has the story. Enrique?
Michael, it's a very sad day here in St. Albans, Queens, as the funeral for Jam Master Jay just ended about 10 minutes ago. As you can see behind me, hundreds of people gathered here to say goodbye to a hip-hop legend.
Enrique Correa joins us now from East Williamsburg with the rest of this story. Enrique?
Around 15 minutes ago, they started a memorial right behind me for Ernesto Reyes, and it says, "We will always love you and remember you."
Enrique Correa is live in Mineola now with more on that story. Enrique, tell us about this.
Ernie, the sweepstakes is called El Gordo, and if you receive one of these notices, watch out, because it's a big scam.
CBS 2's Enrique Correa is back at his post in LaGuardia Airport with the story. Good morning, Enrique.
Good morning, Lou. It's going to be a very, very busy day here at LaGuardia Airport. The lines are very, very long. They start behind me, then they loop around the bend here. Let me show you how long these lines are.
Enrique Correa is live outside the court in Lower Manhattan with the very latest. Enrique?
That's right, Cindy. The jury is still deliberating upstairs. They're trying to find out if Rocco Graciosa is guilty of assault or is it just a case of self-defense. New York Giants Super Bowl dreams may be over for now, but New York football fans still have the Jets to root for as they take on the Oakland Raiders this Sunday. In Astoria, Queens, Enrique Correa, CBS 2
Reporter Enrique Correa is live in Yorktown Heights with more on this. Hello, Enrique. How you doing?
How you doing? They sure got a lot of snow up here, but people here in Yorktown Heights tell me they're used to it, but now they're cleaning up from the mess Mother Nature left behind.
Live now in Ocean Hill with details. Good morning, Enrique.
Good morning, Lou. It's a horrible way to start a Christmas. A possible gas explosion caused this building behind me to explode. We're here at the Kodak Theater in Hollywood, California for the 4th annual BET Awards. For the last 4 years, BET has honored some of the nation's top black entertainers. Once again, Monique is hosting the star-studded event, which will culminate in plenty of parties all over Hollywood. As a matter of fact, it's time for me to check out what I'm going to wear for the show. But my colleague Stephanie Frederick is checking on Media Day. Stephanie, how's that going?
CBS 2's Enrique Correa is live in the newsroom with the details. Enrique?
Cindy, Tupac Shakur, Notorious B.I.G., and Jam Master Jay, all unsolved murders. Today, heavily armed police in California went searching for evidence that could lead to the killers. The Osbournes is another reality show on MTV, which has done very well in the ratings. But will people tune in to see P. Diddy on a weekly basis? For 17 seasons, Patrick Ewing was a member of the NBA. For 15 of those seasons, he played right here at Madison Square Garden as a member of the New York Knicks. And now that Patrick is officially retired, he plans on being an assistant coach with the Washington Wizards, and he'll be working with Michael Jordan.
CBS 2's Enrique Correa is back at his post in LaGuardia Airport with the story. Good morning, Enrique.
Good morning, Lou. It's going to be a very, very busy day here at LaGuardia Airport. The lines are very, very long. They start behind me, then they loop around the bend here. Let me show you how long these lines are. Jackie, this year marks the 4th annual BET Awards, but people are still talking about previous shows that left quite an impression. The chase scene in The Italian Job with the Mini Coopers was so spectacular, I had to check out this car for myself. As you can see, this car is easy to park. In New York City, I'm Enrique Correa reporting for BET Nightly News.
Yeah, right, Enrique.
Somebody got into our heads with big steel-toe boots, cable cutters, and a chainsaw, and they went to town.
It's an unthinkable conspiracy that takes place during an election year, a plot to put a brainwashed war hero into the Oval Office. The Manchurian Candidate is a modernized version of a 1962 masterpiece.
When I read the script, I really liked the script. I was told that there was an original made, before I read it, but I never looked at it. Once I decided I was going to do it, I knew I didn't want to look at it because I didn't want to be affected by it. We were making a new movie.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. They're big, they're huge, they're gigantic. I can't touch them. I get it. I don't want
Manchurian Candidate is a hazy reflection of our current political climate. Perfect timing, says the director.
If you're going to do a picture, an unhinged, paranoid, totally freaked out thriller set against a backdrop of a presidential election, Enrique, I can't imagine a better time to come out than right now.
And one of the highlights of the movie, I finally made my Hollywood debut. Why did you and Governor Arthur oppose deploying troops into Indonesia?
Well, Governor Arthur and I believe we can't clean up the world with dirty hands.
Sergeant Shaw. Blah, 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 blah. Now, I saw you.
You saw my big head on
that big head jumping forward. Thought I didn't know that. See?
No, I didn't know. You're a big guy. I know you're a big star.
I was right next to you all day.
Right next to me all
Thank
day.
you. I'm in your movie.
No.
I was an extra in that scene in your movie.
Yeah, right. All jokes aside, Denzel's new movie is now in theaters nationwide. In New York, I'm Enrique Correa reporting for BET Nightly News. This holiday weekend, the Hamptons was the place to be. The 4th of July was celebrated hip-hop style, where some of the biggest names in the game took Independence Day to a whole new level at the PlayStation 2 estate.
I mean, this is a beautiful scene. You know how big it is, baby. It's a beautiful thing. It's huge.
The holiday weekend kicked off with heiress Paris Hilton launching her new record label and album, Paris is Burning. Then the party heat went way up at Jay-Z's party for his new S. Carter tennis shoe. You're wearing them right now?
And they look smooth. I mean, they're not even forced or anything. That's not forced. It just happens like that, right?
And for the 6th year, P. Diddy held his annual white party. By now, the social event of the summer in the Hamptons. But this time, it wasn't just a party. There was a message, too.
Vote or die in 2004, y'all. Vote or die.
Diddy announced his Citizen Change campaign, which he and Russell Simmons hope will get young people to the polls.
This initiative that he's going to take on is going to actually help to pick the president. And I think that young people love and respect and trust Puffy, certainly more than they do George Bush, or even John Kerry for that matter.
We are going to motivate, we're going to educate, and we're going to empower the 35 million young people and minorities in America.
The White Party was also helping people to get registered, but if that wasn't enough, the ultra-exclusive party also featured the original Declaration of Independence. Not only did Puffy start Citizen Change, he also has a special announcement that he's keeping very secret, and he'll let us know on July 12th exactly what it is. Until then, we'll have to wait and see. In the Hamptons, I'm Enrique Correa reporting for BET Nightly News.
Incredible game tonight, something Met fans won't ever forget. Enrique Correa is at Shea Stadium right now. Enrique.
Cynthia, how you doing? Let me just show you. This is the newest hot item here at Shea. It's the Mets jersey that says Benny Agbayani in the back. As you can see behind me, the people that braved the cold are still here, and they are chanting, Benny, Benny, Benny. Enrique? Well, Carol, after last night's win, Mets fans are saying you gotta believe. And now that the Subway Series is here at Shea, Mets fans are saying they got the Yankees right where they want them.
Enrique Correa is here now with that story. Enrique?
Roland, 8 U.S. cities have been competing for the 2012 Olympics. Now it's down to the Final Four. New York City has never hosted the Olympics, and now he might get a chance as the U.S. Olympic Committee has put the Big Apple on its short list.
Yeah.
Cynthia, just a few hours ago, Shea Stadium was rocking, the fans were going crazy, and the key phrase you heard over and over again was, bring on St. Louis. Game 1 against the Cardinals will be on Wednesday, and let's keep our fingers crossed for that Subway Series. We're live at Shea Stadium. I'm Enrique Correa, Fox 5 News. Back to you, Cynthia.
Okay, we'll definitely keep our fingers crossed. Thanks a lot, Enrique.
Last night, he was crowned Rookie of the Year. BET's Enrique Correa has more on the man they call King James.
LeBron James has lived up to all the hype. The first-year guard is the NBA's Rookie of the Year.
You know, it's an honor. You know, I worked hard to get to this point. You know, I thank everybody in my family that helped me to this point.
I'm very proud of him, and he worked hard for it, and he deserves it.
The hard work began right after James was picked first in last year's NBA draft. The 19-year-old guard beat out Denver Nuggets forward Carmelo Anthony to become the youngest player ever to receive the award.
Here's Anthony driving, and it'll flush it down. Head of the field, Carmelo.
But some people feel Carmelo should have won the Rookie of the Year title because he led his team to the playoffs and helped turn around a struggling Nuggets franchise.
I believe they should have split it for the simple fact that LeBron is the talent that he is and Melo is the talent that he is. Melo is one of the main reasons Denver made the playoffs in the harder division in the West.
I would have definitely given the nod to Carmelo, without a doubt, because he got his team into the playoffs, and LeBron didn't.
When you take a look at LeBron, this is a kid that came straight out of high school, and he's performed at the highest levels of the NBA, and I think that he's astonished many people throughout the world. This kid is incredible. I love watching him play. He's great talent, has great maturity as a young kid, and he's a leader already at a very, very young age. And given the year that he's had, I think he's deserving.
Even before LeBron James stepped onto a basketball court, he was worth $120 million in endorsements. His jersey is the #1 seller here at the NBA store, and he's made the Cleveland Cavaliers into a contender. And you know what? King James is only going to get better. Despite their rivalry, LeBron and Carmelo are the best of friends. Earlier this year, Anthony claimed that he would win the Rookie of the Year title, but now that the trophy is in LeBron's hands, it just adds more fuel to their competition on the court. In New York, Enrique Correa reporting for BET Nightly News.
BET's Enrique Correa goes one-on-one with the outgoing superstar.
So my decision is to retire.
It's official. The man who made the Knicks a contender during the early 90s has said goodbye to his NBA career today at the age of 40. Ewing says retiring is difficult.
It was very hard. It was very hard. Basketball is something I've been doing for so long.
Many of Ewing's old coaches and teammates were at the press conference to support their friend. Ewing's high school coach Mike Jarvis, his former Knicks coach Jeff Van Gundy, and his former teammates Charles Oakley, Herb Williams, Allen Houston, and Mark Jackson.
Brilliant basketball player, but more importantly, an even better person. Somebody that embraced me at an early age and made life a lot easier for me when I first got into this league.
To play, Childs, Ewing, beautiful goes.
Knicks fans say Patrick Ewing will eventually make it to the Basketball Hall of Fame. However, some fans will remember Ewing as the man who promised a championship to the New York Knicks, but never delivered.
Well, it is very upsetting that he never won us a championship, but it was always good watching him play. I've loved him for a long time, so to hear that he's retiring today, it saddens me. For 17 seasons, Patrick Ewing was a member of the NBA. And for 15 of those seasons, he played right here at Madison Square Garden as a member of the New York Knicks. And now that Patrick is officially retired, he plans on being an assistant coach with the Washington Wizards, and he'll be working with Michael Jordan.
Michael tried to get me to, when he was the president of the team, tried to get me to come play for the Wizards. I turned him down. So when the Wizards called me again to ask me to come and work for them, I thought, I can't turn them down a second time.
It's using the clock. And Ewing shot is good. And Ewing with some words.
In New York City, I'm Enrique Correa reporting for BET Nightly News.
Story for us. Enrique?
Brenda, so was Babe Ruth black? Maybe it doesn't really matter, but Spike Lee is bringing it up. He wrote an article for a new magazine called Gotham that poses that question. George Herman Ruth, the Babe, a legend, one of the best baseball players ever, the Sultan of SWAT. But in a game where the color barrier wasn't broken until the 50s, comes rumor that baseball's ultimate hero was part black.
I did not discover this. I did not manufacture this. People been talking about this since the 1920s.
Spike Lee is an actor, a director, and now a sports writer for Gotham magazine. He says he heard the stories about the Babe, and now he's writing about it.
There's something that Ty Cobb talked about, and so there's always been speculation, but now with DNA, you can really, all we did was suggest an article. Now with DNA, DNA doesn't lie. That's all we're saying.
Dave Kaplan is a baseball historian and is director of the Yogi Berra Museum and Learning Center in Montclair, New Jersey. He says the story about Ruth have been passed down for decades.
When he was playing with the Yankees, he was called black. He was called black so often that a lot of people began to believe he was partly black. And The truth is that Negro League players were secretly rooted for Babe Ruth, thinking they had a secret brother.
There's no real way to find out if the Yankee slugger had black blood in him unless you dig up his grave and get a DNA sample. But that's never going to happen. In his article, Spike asked the all-time home run leader Hank Aaron about Ruth possibly being part black. Aaron said they're not going to dig up the Babe. They're going to live with that for the rest of their natural-born lives. They don't want that revealed, that there could be an ounce of black blood in him, one drop, and that's it. Joseph Stoyer is the editor-in-chief of Gotham magazine. Stoyer says this controversial article will sell magazines.
Babe Ruth is at the heart of America and what America stands for, and I don't think that everybody wants to believe that America stands for black people, unfortunately.